There's, of course, still many questions, as you heard, about the possible long-term effects, the accountability, and what recovery really looks like here moving forward.
To try to help us understand what's next, we're joined by Orange County Supervisor Vicente Sarimento. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We really appreciate it.
Good to be here with you.
So a lot of people we've talked to say they're obviously still nervous about air quality and possible exposure to this chemical. What are you telling people who are worried about their health and their safety at this point?
Well, the public should understand that the concern continues. So there are still the public agencies that are there that are present, Air Quality Management District, those testing the water quality. So there hasn't been any let up on the oversight and monitoring of the conditions of the site.
Yeah, and of course, officials are saying that a failure in the tank's cooling system is what may have caused this entire situation. So what kind of investigation is now underway into how this happened? And you do hear residents saying, why was a facility like this put in a residential area in the first place? How do you address that?
So great questions. I think that, the Orange County Fire Authority will be the lead agency to make sure they find in the aftermath what failed and what caused this, this tank to fail. And so I think now going back and looking at what the land use policy is to allow heavy industrial manufacturing plants like this really close to incompatible uses, which are residences and parks and schools. So that is probably because a lot of older cities didn't have the foresight to make sure that there are distances and buffers between both of these incompatible uses. You can't have people and sensitive receptors right up against heavy manufacturing.
I think about the timing of all this. It's Memorial Day weekend. Hotels were sold out. I just did a quick check in the area, in the San Diego area. It was like $400 to $800 if you could even find a hotel room. Businesses and residents obviously feeling the financial burden of the evacuation, especially given the timing. How can they get help, and what resources is the county now providing them?
Yeah, this weekend was sort of a blessing or a curse. People had some time off. Luckily, it wasn't during the week when people had to go to work for the most part. But yes, it was an impact, and it was very invasive on people's lives. I think what we've been trying to make sure we inform those who were impacted is to save your invoices and receipts for any costs that were expended, both at the Fire Authority and the Orange County Emergency Operations Center. There will be a claims form for those who have had expenses that were the result of this crisis. I think businesses that were also impacted were, really glad that there are emergency orders from the local, state, and federal level that will trigger as soon as businesses, I think the threshold is 10. The Small Business Administration will start receiving claims forms from them because they had to shut down their businesses, and it was probably a busy weekend for them to do sales.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the financial losses, of course, people concerned about that. The investigation ongoing. Is there anything that's not happening now that you feel like needs to be happening in the aftermath of this crisis?
Well, I think, one thing that we have to admonish everybody is just to be careful. There still is an evacuation area with a 300-foot perimeter. It's much tighter. It's just to the businesses adjacent to the site. But I think people just out of an abundance of caution should stay as far away as possible just to make sure nothing happens. Everything is being tested, the water quality, air quality. But nonetheless, we never know with incidents like this, some aftermath.
Absolutely. They need to heed, of course, the directions from officials like you. So thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Of course.